Good morning or good reading for anybody who is currently logging on, and thank you again for joining us as we continue the reading around Carl Rogers on Becoming a Person, a Therapist's View of Psychotherapy. We have just finished part 3, so that we are now going to start on part 4. This is for those of you who have this version of the book. This is on page 161. And it starts off by saying part 4, a philosophy of persons. This is going to be a brief reading today. I have formed some philosophical impressions of the life and goal toward which the individual moves when he is free. Chapter 8. To be that self which one truly is, a therapist's view of personal goals. That's the header. In these days, most psychologists regard it as an insult if they are accused of thinking philosophical thoughts. I do not share this reaction. I cannot help but puzzle over the meaning of what I observe. Some of these meanings seem to have exciting implications for our modern world. In 1957, Dr. Russell Becker, a friend, former student, and colleague of mine, invited me to give a special lecture to an all-college convocation at Wooster College in Ohio. I decided to work out more clearly for myself the meaning of the personal directions which clients seem to take in the free climate of the therapeutic relationship. When the paper was finished, I had grave doubts that I had expressed anything which was in any way new or significant. The rather astonishingly long continued applause of the audience relieved my fears to some degree. As the passage of time has enabled me to look more objectively at what I said, I feel satisfaction on 2 counts. I believe it expresses well the observations which for me have crystallized into 2 important themes. My confidence in the human organism when it is functioning freely, and the existential quality of satisfying living, a theme presented by some of our most modern philosophers, which was, however, beautifully expressed more than 25 centuries ago by Lao Tzu when he said, the way to do is to be. And I'll just read one more section, which is the questions, and then we'll close out, and next time we'll read the answers, or we'll start with the answers. The questions. What is my goal in life? What am I striving for? What is my purpose? These are questions which every individual asks himself at one time or another, sometimes calmly, and meditatively, sometimes in agonizing uncertainty or despair. They are old questions which have been asked and answered in every century of history. Yet they are also questions which every individual must ask and answer for himself in his own way. They are questions which I, as a counselor here, expressed in many differing ways as men and women in their personal distress try to learn or understand or choose the directions which their lives are taking. In one sense, there is nothing new which can be said about these questions. Indeed, the opening phrase in the title I have chosen for this paper is taken from the writings of a man who wrestled with these questions more than a century ago. Simply to express another personal opinion about this whole issue of goals and purposes would seem presumptuous. But as I have worked for many years with troubled and maladjusted individuals, I believe that I can discern a pattern, a trend, a commonality, an orderliness in the tentative answers to these questions which they have found for themselves. And so I would like to share with you my perception of what human beings appear to be striving for when they are free to choose. An end of reading today, and next time we meet, we'll be continuing on with the answers, which is on the bottom of page 164 if you are reading from this particular edition. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your time, and I look forward to the next time we meet.